Imagine waking up one morning to find out the CEO of your favorite crypto exchange has just vanished. Along with him, £2 billion worth of Bitcoin. There was no warning, no email, no explanation, just gone. Today, we're diving deep into the anatomy of a crypto collapse, exploring how these catastrophic events unfold. And why, without fail, the CEO always seems to disappear at the most convenient moments. He was hailed as a visionary, a disruptor, a true genius poised to revolutionize the world of finance. This was the narrative he sold, and investors and customers alike bought into it completely. His exchange grew at an astonishing rate, fueled by promises that seemed too good to ignore, incredibly low fees, instant withdrawals, and security on par with the world's biggest banks. He was charismatic, persuasive, and everyone trusted him. But behind the curtain of this dazzling success story, a very different reality was taking shape. The foundations were already cracking. So, how did this exchange actually operate? Here's the part that was deliberately hidden from public view. When you deposited your hard-earned money, you believed it was being held safely in your own secure account. Simple, right? One customer, one account, one balance. But that's not what happened. Instead, your money, along with everyone else's, was funneled into a complex and opaque maze of high-risk investments, speculative side projects, and a web of internal accounts controlled by the CEO. It was a classic shell game. When customers requested withdrawals, they weren't getting their own money back. They were being paid with fresh deposits from new, unsuspecting users. On the surface, the exchange looked financially robust and healthy. This illusion was only sustainable as long as everyone did and tried to withdraw their funds at the same time. This wasn't financial innovation. It was a disaster waiting to happen, a ticking time bomb. Then, inevitably, the market took a downturn. Major investors, sensing trouble, started pulling out their capital. This triggered a wave of panic among smaller customers. Suddenly, withdrawal requests flooded the system, creating a digital bank run. The volume was immense, far more than the exchange could handle. The intricate system of paying old investors with new money collapsed overnight. The liquidity meter, which tracked the available funds, plummeted from green to red and then, finally, to zero. The truth, which had been so carefully concealed, finally burst into the open. Billions in customer Bitcoin were simply not there. They were missing. And at the precise moment the entire operation imploded, the CEO vanished. There was no press conference to calm the public, no letter of apology, not even a single social media post, just deafening silence. His lavish office was found empty. His phone was switched off, disconnected from the network. His once active social media profiles, filled with inspirational quotes and market predictions, were scrubbed from the internet. Authorities around the world launched a massive investigation, but the money trail had already gone cold, intentionally obscured through a labyrinth of digital wallets and shell corporations. And that £2 billion. To this day, it remains missing. So, what crucial lessons can we, as ordinary investors and consumers, take away from this cautionary tale? It's actually quite simple, if you know what to look for. First, if a company can't provide a clear, straightforward explanation of how it generates revenue and profits, that's a massive red flag. Second, if the interest rates or returns they promise sound wildly better than anything else on the market, they are almost certainly too good to be true. Third, if you ever see a notice that withdrawals are being temporarily paused for technical maintenance, it's time to run, not walk away. And finally, if the CEO acts more like a social media influencer than a diligent accountant, you should be extremely careful with your money. But what happens when the CEO doesn't just vanish into thin air? What if, to escape justice, he fakes his own death? That's the bizarre stranger than fiction story we'll be covering in our next episode. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. See you there.